Hi everyone, this video tutorial will demonstrate how to create a timeline using LucidPress. LucidPress is an easy to use drag and drop web-based publishing software, and it allows us to create digital media such as flyers, posters, brochures, and magazines. You have access to LucidPress and you can access it through the app grid in your Chrome browser when you are logged in with your school's login details. Click on the app grid, scroll down, and select LucidPress. For the purpose of this tutorial, we are going to be working with a template that I have pre-selected, and it is open right here. Before we start editing our document, I'd like to walk you through the basic features of LucidPress Editor. Firstly, this folder will take us back to all of the documents that we are currently working on in the LucidPress dashboard. On the top, we have our basic menu bar. Over on the left pane, we have the contents bar that allows us to drag in text boxes, images, shapes, and adding new pages. Over on the right is what we call the contextual menu. The contextual menu changes depending on the element of design that you have selected in your document. For example, if I have selected text, then my menu options of editing and formatting my text will change. And if I have selected an image, then that menu will change accordingly. And finally, over on the top, we have the blue buttons that will allow us to either download, share, or preview our document. Let's begin editing. Firstly, I'd like to show you how to change the background of this document. To change the background of this document, we need to select the whole page, and we can do that in two ways. Firstly, by clicking on any empty space, especially around the edge of our page right here. And so as you can see, my menu options have changed, or I can actually select the page from here. I'm going to go ahead and start changing the background. As I hover over any color, that will give me a preview of what the color will look like as a background in my document. I have the option of choosing from template colors. I can add an image, or what I might do is go into the color wheel and select a color that I am happy with manually for my design. I'm going to go ahead and select this pale gray as my template, and I'm going to select OK. Now I'm going to show you how to start editing text. To edit a text from a template, you can either just click into the text box and double click into it. When you see these pale green box, you know that now you can type in. That's me typing in. What I might do is actually just delete this text box completely, and I'm going to wait for this cross arrow and select that text box, and I am going to delete that. I'm going to zoom in so I can see my heading better, and I am going to start editing my heading. Now I might not want this off with a different color there, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select a group of that, because if I just select off, that's a text box, and this two are different shapes. So what I might do is select them all together and hit delete. I'm going to delete this because I just need one text box, and I am going to start typing in my topic. So I'm just going to call it, I'm just going to call it 200 years project. As you can see, you can hear me typing, but you can't really see the text changing. And that is because our text box is too small. So we're just going to drag that open all the way. Now I can see that my text options here have changed, and I can change the color of my text and choose perhaps a color from my document that's being pulled in from the template. I can change my font, and I can go maybe League Gothic, and I might actually make that all caps by clicking on the all caps option. I can change the size of my font, and as you can see, the larger I go, I have to drag in my text box open so that I can see it, and I might center align that. I might actually change that to the brown. And what I might do is add in a subheading. So I'm just going to go back to my contents bar. I'm going to click on text and I'm going to drag in a subheading text box, and I am going to write and again I'm just going to drag my box open. And I might go into layout and I'm going to center that text box on that page. I'm going to go into text and I'm going to center align that. I can change again the font size. I can change the color. Maybe perhaps make that red. I'm now going to show you how to edit text that is grouped together. Templates often come with objects that are grouped or linked together so that editing is easier and resizing and reshaping an object is easier. And I'm going to show you how. If you do a single click within this area, you can see a pale blue line across my shape, which is this line here, text, subheading, text, and an image. I could actually move that quite easily wherever I want on my document. I can right click and I can duplicate that and bring that forward. Or what I might do is just go ahead and delete that whole option right there. Perhaps I didn't want to delete it, so what I can do is actually go back to my undo, and there it is right there. So what I might do is I might start editing this portion of our text box. Again, double clicking within a group, and as you can see now I'm going to be editing in that group because all of the rest of my page is pale in comparison, and I can see that hint here that it is a group. I'm going to double click within this text box and I am going to type in 1640. I'm going to type in, I'm going to select that, delete that, and I will type in Abel Tasman discovers Tasmania. I can select that and make that larger. Again, in my context bar, I can change the date when I double click into that box, and I will call that 1642. And I might go ahead and delete this ice cream because it does not make sense with my history projects. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Now I'm going to show you how to add in shape, how to add a shape in your document, and then we can format that. So again, going back to our contents bar, dragging in a shape that I want, and I'm just going to drag that in. As you can see, the rest of my page is still quite pale, and I'm still editing within that group. And you can see that firstly by the pale blue lines. I'm still editing this circle though because I have that selection right there, and I can see that with these options to resize my shape. I'm just going to bring that down. I'm going to go back to my text box, make that smaller perhaps, and I'm going to start editing this and formatting this shape. Firstly, I'm going to go ahead and change the border color to red. I could make that heavier, and what I will do is I'm going to fill that circle with an image. So I'm going to go to my image over here, and I'm going to choose my image. This is going to bring up the image manager. With the image manager, you can either upload an image from your device, you can search for an image that you already have, that you've uploaded already, or you can search for an image online. I might go ahead and select this image of Abel Tasman to add in my circle. I'm just going to hit insert, and there I have it, this image of Abel Tasman in this text box. I can actually make this text box, this circle come in a little bit, and I can now press escape to exit this group, or what I can do is I can double click within my document and outside of that group. And now I've edited text, I've edited a shape, and I have edited and added an image. Another way to add an image to your document is, again, you can go ahead, select that. Firstly, I have that option here, and this is exactly what we've done with the shape, or we can just go ahead and delete that. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to show you how to add an image free of a shape that we're just adding in freely. So these are all of my images that I have pre-selected. I can go to my image manager by clicking on this folder and going to either a Bing search, or I can just go manage my images. And again, I'm going to go back to Bing search, and I'm going to maybe select an image from here. And I'm going to add this photo to my image manager, and I will perhaps select this image of Parramatta Square to my document. Now I can enlarge in this image, and I can move it around wherever I want. If I want to center align this, I can actually go into the Layouts tab, and I can say I want it left aligned, or perhaps center aligned, or right aligned. I'm just going to align it center. I can arrange my image to go completely to back, so I can just go send to back, and there it is, or I could actually bring it to forward. I might go into effects and change the saturation of this image. I might go ahead, change the brightness, maybe even the contrast, bring the brightness forward back a little bit, and save that image. I'm quite happy with this image exactly as it is. I might go ahead and delete this text, and there you have it. That's how I would edit my timeline. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to download your project once you are happy with it. Click on the blue download button. You have the option to download as a PDF, a PNG, or a JPEG. Just click on next and download. And there you have it.